Well, it's official. I've run out of ideas. I have no clue what to do with this Airbus team. We're just not good enough, and I think we have to face it. So I'm going to go down in a blaze of glory. If we're going to lose our job, if we're going to get relegated, we're going to do it in style. So let's go attacking. Let's at least be enjoyable to watch. And hopefully, with it, maybe comes some luck. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 5 of the head coach with me, Daniel. And we are in disarray. There is absolutely no doubt about that. We have no idea how to get out the trouble we're in. We're stuck 5 points away from safety and 10th place. And today, we've got a double header against a fairly local side and the only side we haven't played yet this season. Oh, that's right. It's league leaders and only professional side TNS. It isn't getting any easier, is it? The transfer window is just around the corner, as is the league split, and we're going to need some miracles if we're to survive this year. So if you're looking forward to finding out if we get them, and by how many we lose on aggregate in today's 2 games, then please do put a thumbs up on it and subscribe for daily FM23 content. We had our Build a Nation save earlier today as always, and a very special video last night. You can find that one up in the eye above, as well as all the other playlists. But thank you for coming along as always. It's sure to be fun, this one. If anything, there's going to be goals in the episode, probably just not in the end we'd like. As I mentioned in the introduction though, today is a day of no regrets because over the last 6, 7, 8 games, I've been trying all the different tactics, all the different ways to try and get us back into decent shape, back out of that relegation mix. And I've just come to the conclusion, mainly by comparing us to the key players in each other team as we've played them, that we aren't good enough. Let me give you an example as we run through the schedule. Our last game against Bala, the opening goal was scored by this man, Charlie Caton. He is the best striker in the league, and we can't compete. If you have a look at his quality there, compared to what we've got, which is Jake Eyre and Kerry Davis not scoring goals, how are we supposed to compete? We're coming up against a professional side today. The other teams have all had quality players elsewhere. Darren Thomas, 2 goals for Carnarvon. We know him well from the banger save. He might be 35, but he'd be our best striker if he was here. That's the difference in level we're talking about. So after defeat in the league, it's now 7 without a win, only 1 point in that time. I've decided if we're going to go down, we do it in a blaze of glory. We're going to play exciting football. We're going to play out from the back with the diamond, and we're going to go for it. And if it isn't enough, and the total football gets us caught out and we lose 5-0, so be it. We're going to do it properly. So let's have a quick look at the results since you were last with me. A brief moment of excitement was a 5-1 cup win. 3 for Adam Davis, again the only striker with some quality. Craig Curran got 1, our best player, who's now injured today. And Jake Eyre did finally score a goal in stoppage time. However, since then in the league, it's been an unmitigated disaster. A 2-0 defeat at home to Haverfordwest. A 2-2 draw against Connors Quay, which was actually pretty good, but we threw away a 2-goal lead. Ryan Edwards with a screamer and Adam Davis with a header in that one. A 3-0 defeat at Pennybont. We were really outplayed there. A 2-0 defeat at home to Carnarvon. And then 2-1 against Bala. But it was at this point, after half an hour in that game, I was bored of watching us get done in behind for the 100th time. I was bored of watching us get absolutely mullered in open play. And for our players to completely ignore playing out from the back and just hoofing it long. So what we did, we went narrow diamond. We went really, really aggressive, how I'd like it to be played. And you know what? We were better. We still got done 100 times in behind. It could have been 4 or 5. But we played better and I enjoyed watching us. So that's what we're going to prioritise. I expect nothing from these 2 games. However, we then need a big January and we need to try and get in some players before that big league split where we start to play the bottom half teams. What I am also doing is looking for jobs. I'm not going to lie to you. I need to get out before we get pushed. And there might have to be an element of us swallowing our pride because the main job that's come up that we've got a chance of getting is, you've probably guessed it by now, but I'll show you anyway. If we head to the job centre, it's Concord. The club that rejected us in the summer. The reason we're here at Airbus, because they picked Steve Claridge over us. Well, it hasn't worked out for us and it hasn't worked out for them. They sit in the National League South relegation zone. If they come calling, I'm going to consider it. I can assure you of that. But with that done, we're going to get straight into the games. The dynamics, the players are still behind us in fairness, but the club atmosphere is awful. We tried the team chat, didn't work. We've tried individual chats, didn't work. The old thing from FM22 of telling players you're upset they're not scoring goals, hey, that doesn't work this year, let me tell you that for sure. And overall, it's just been a disaster. We've got more players going out as well. Dan Roberts has agreed to leave the club in January. He wanted to move on. We've not played him because he's even worse than the defenders we've got. He's going to Cambrian and Clydac on a free. Is that 30 quid on the wage bill, I think? Not that it matters. We've got 580 not being spent. But yes, he's moving off for 30 quid a week. And then Jamie Crowther, our holding midfielder, still first choice at the moment, is getting offers from our club last year, Kefan Druids, and from Colwyn Bay as a player coach at the end of his contract. His runs out at the end of May next year, so at least we should have him for the season. But it doesn't look particularly good for us. If we start losing players as well, I don't know what happens. We need a big January. We need big first team players to come in. And why would they at the moment? Let's be honest. So I think the less said about our chances against TNS, the better. They are a professional side. They're a point clear with a game in hand. They have European football and European money every year. How have they got on this season? They have... Oh my God, they've got to the group stages. TNS, and we've got lots of leagues loaded here. Nearly everything in Europe. They're in group stage football of Europe. So they've had 2.5, 3 million. Something that in our Builder Nation in FM21, it took 15 years for these clubs to do. And they've just gone and done it first time around. Europa Conference group stage football. And it's not just that. Have they got through? They've picked up 8 points. So they are. TNS are playing Fenerbahce in the last 32 of the Europa Conference. I'm astounded. What an incredible achievement. And that's going to give them some money, isn't it? How on earth are we supposed to get out of this? I have no idea. We've also got problems with fitness. Craig Curran's injured. Steve Thomason, the best centre-half on paper, not having a great day. So do you know what? With the home game coming in 5 days, I'll leave them both out. Let's just take the hit on this one and try and make it up next week. So with our diamond, we have had to bring in McQueen, one of the deadline day signings, in as the number 10. We've gone for Kerry Davis up front over Jake Eyre, who continues to frustrate me immensely. And then the rest of the team is as you'd expect. Borg in goal, Phillips and Owen the fullbacks with Makoma alongside Edwards at centre-half. The other Edwards is alongside Granell and Crowther in a midfield 3, with McQueen as the number 10 behind Davis and Davis up front. The substitutes bench leaves a lot to be desired. If it's close, I might risk Thomason and Curran. Otherwise, the youngsters can come on and we'll just try and limit the damage against a very good team. Fingers crossed it won't be humiliating. Anything under double figures is probably a success. And as we come into the game, it's 2 changes for TNS today. John Routledge drops out, one of their better players, but there's so much strength in depth here. Keston Davis, the skipper, a man I've interviewed over on the podcast channel, a quality footballer at this level. So let's get through the dressing room. Let's tell the lads there's no pressure at all. And even then, most of them are against us. They're hesitant from the start. And having a young team, not really helping us in this situation. So let's get through the tunnel interview. Let's do our best. But I think this is going to be a long day at the office. Well, I tell you what, we've done a lot better today than we have in most of the last 7 games. 34 minutes without a highlight, without an attack. And then right on cue, Wakona, who's only in the team because Thomason's not fit, misses a regulation header on the edge of his box. He's actually in the team as a covering defender. So I don't actually know why he was going for the header. He should be dropping in there and just trying to sweep up. It's all wrong tactically. It's completely ignored our plan. And one stupid mistake after a very good first half performance has now given TNS the lead. And this is the type of game, it's got sort of, I don't know what the referee's doing there. Sorry, I just got very distracted by that. Jordan Williams has put it in the top corner. The referee blocked both the attacker and our defender. What on earth was going on there? Very strange moment. But as I was saying before, this has got vibes of sort of a England-San Marino international qualifying game, you know, where they sit back, the first goal goes in, and then this starts to happen. 3-0 at the break. After 35 minutes, TNS hadn't had a shot on target. And now look, one Wakoma mistake, and this game is out of sight. 3-0 is the scoreline. Apparently we've actually managed 3 shots on target. But we've been poor, we've let ourselves down again, and I just don't know what the solutions are. We look good for the most part, But in the two boxes, we're awful. We've only got one competitive striker. One of our back four is rated Premier League standard. The other three are all recommended to be north/south players. The goalkeeper we keep getting told is very good, but keeps making mistakes. And in midfield, well, the holding man, the most important one, isn't very good. It's not a good combination here. And without serious surgery, this team's going down. And that means we'll lose our job. As Borsch goes for the long kick over, Adam Davis flicks on for Kerry. Can he end his goal drought? Oh, off the post. Similar to the Bala game, we must have hit the post 4 or 5 times. It was ridiculous. And there's our first one of this game. 55 minutes gone. It's not been the worst performance. But at the moment, it's very comfortable for TNS as Adam Davis loses out at the back stick. Edwards keeps it in. What can the skipper do? Big switch of play to Phillips. Has support, but goes back to Granell. Chips over for Adam Davis. That's a good header. Oh, he's hit the post again. The flag goes up. I was celebrating already. Madness. So I'm going to make 5 changes now. Just try and rest people. Because we've only got 5 days. There's no point bringing on Thomason or Curran. So Blackwell will come on for Jake Phillips. We'll bring off Crowther for the youngster Owen. Munro on in the middle for the skipper Edwards. McQueen will come off for Lansley. And Jake Eyre on for Harry Davis. Because as much as he's playing okay, he's not offering a threat. And we're back with Owen the substitute in the holding role. 20 minutes remaining. And again, just look at that as an example. The punt downfield. We're trying to play out from defence. Focus play through the middle. Pass shorter. And all he's done is pick the ball up on the edge of his box and hoof it as long as he can. That is a classic sign of a team lacking in confidence. And with these young players, it's all right us having a perfect game plan, trying 100 different tactical styles. If we don't have them being followed, then this is going to happen. I mean, Wakona, I think you can see why I went for a 39-year-old Edwards over him, can't you? His positioning's supposed to be 11. He's been caught out for 2 goals because of his positioning. Keston Davis has just headed one across for 5-0. I don't even want to watch anymore. The goal's been disallowed. We've got a little bit of respite. At the start, I probably would have taken 4, but the manner of the goals every time is so frustrating. How long before the fans get bored and want us out? I don't know. Yes, we're meeting objectives. We're doing one better than most of them expected us to do. But we're now nowhere near relegation. And this is at risk of not becoming a valiant attempt. And that might be where our job's under threat. Let's get ahead to the reverse fixture at home to a very good team, I must admit. But still, we're going to need one hell of a turnaround. Or this might be our first sacking at our first club. Fitness test time, but lots of news along the way. And it's not good news. As you can see from the top of the screen, we are now bottom of the Welsh Premier League table. Cardiff Met Uni have played their game already. They are now a point above us. And if we lose, as we'd expect to today, we're in very big trouble for the rest of this year. The transfer window opens tomorrow, and it looks like Lansley may be the next one out. His contract expires at the end of this season, and 2 English clubs have come in for him already. Though Crowther did reject the opportunity to move, so I guess there's one small win in there. Let's go through to the fixtures though. It's first v last, and TNS, after beating us 4-0 last time out, have got a chance to inflict more misery on us today. We'll be able to bring Thomason and Curran back in. There's 2 small victories for us there. But let's see how much of a difference they make and what team we can put out for this one. Well, with the greatest of respect intended to him, we should be better today purely because Wakona's not playing. So we're going to bring Thomason in as the covering centre-half. We're going to bring in Curran in the number 10. And let's just hope our 2 best players on paper coming back into the team. Well, it can't be a bad thing. 3 changes from the last game for TNS. They've changed their keeper. They brought Ryan Astles in at the back. I mean, they're feeling confident and rightly so. So let's go and get through the dressing room. We can only keep encouraging these boys. I don't know what more we can really do to get them on board. There's no reaction again. And this is experienced players. You're talking 39-year-old Edwards. Craig Curran is one of our senior pros. Crowther the same. And there is literally no personality to them. It's like talking to a bunch of fence panels here. So let's go and get into the first half via the tunnel interview. Anything less than 4 after last time is an improvement. And here we are with 4 minutes on the clock. Let's at least see if we're going to play the style of football we asked. No, we lose the ball because our centre midfielder is trying to punt it 60 yards downfield. You could not be ignoring our game plan more. McManus in, heads just wide. I don't care if we lose every game and lose our job, but at least play the way we've been training. Just try and play football and see where it gets you, because the long ball isn't working. We got a long throw on the right with Thomason. Can we deliver? Have not seen any success from one of these this year. Granell keeps it in though. Brought down, gets in one-on-one. Save back to Adam Davis. And this is the ultimate turn up for the books. The long throw finally delivers for the first time this season. Granell shot saved. Davis is there. And he's doing what a poacher does. He scores. TNS yet to have a shot on target. Please. This would be a defining, season-turning moment if we could win this game. But Phillips gets the ball on the right to Davis. Now let's see what we can do. Are we going to revert to type? Thomason at the back. Short to Crowther. Oh, big punch straight at Keston Davis. Why are you ignoring me? Please stop ignoring it. Instructions. Shorter passing. Play through the middle. Play out from the back. Why on earth are you ignoring it? Nothing in this tactical plan is telling them to do different. But here we are. We're still 1-0 up. Let's not get frustrated yet. And with 10 minutes to the break, we still have the lead. But this is about the moment that TNS turned on the style in the reverse fixture that Adam Davis is trying to play through. I don't mind that one because that's on the floor. That's an attempted through ball towards Current. Doesn't quite come off. And now we've got a defend as Brovel, forcing his way down the right. Goes back to Baker. One of the changes today. Keston Davis, the skipper, over the top. McManus in. We've been done by the straight ball again. Gareth Edwards just can't run. I don't know what the point of the covering defender is this year because they don't cover. But still, we have the lead. Still, TNS haven't had a shot on target. But here's a corner, and we all know what we're like from them. Pass gets over. Was a free header, but he doesn't take advantage. Remarkably, we could be 1-0 up at half-time, and we've got another long throw. Thomason in, doesn't beat Keston Davis, is not the best. And now TNS can counter. McManus holds up for Williams. We've only had 2 shots, which was the shot and the rebound that led to our goal. And TNS on the edge, chance to equalise. Under the goalkeeper's arms. We keep getting told he's a good keeper, and I am yet to be convinced of it. Right on the stroke of half-time, it's going to be a costly one again. I mean, it's a great result as it stands, but there's absolutely no way we're holding on. 15 shots to 2, and TNS will probably get a rollicking now. To play their worst and still dominate, it could be a long second half. And as we move into the second half, it's a free kick in a dangerous position, which normally means one thing. Brovel shoots just onto the roof of the net. And Pontypridd losing in 10th as well, so hope is not gone. We need to try and get this point. If we can do that to stop the rot, then maybe nick a win against Cardiff Met Uni next week. Who knows? This is up to the back post. He scored again. Adam Davis in. Big ball to the back post. Header at the keeper was saved. And then on the rebound, he poaches yet again. But we're going straight from the kickoff. I almost can't get excited about goals now because we're so bad at the back. The 2 fullbacks are struggling. One on a booking, one knackered. We'll look at that in a minute. I think we've only got 1 sub in those areas. As Keston Davis goes long. Norton to Redmond. Hits the post. Thomason, I don't know what you're doing, son. I have no idea what you're doing as a covering defender. But with 20 minutes to go, we are somehow beating professional TNS 2-1. And we are somehow on course to get a victory. Kerry Davis will be replaced by Jake Eyre up front. Why are all the subs nervous? I don't know. Do I take off Bailey Owen or Jake Phillips? One's knackered, one's been poor. I've got to take the man off on a yellow card. Blackwell on, Phillips will switch sides. Crowther's having a poor game, so Mike Owen is a like-for-like replacement. We'll save the last 2, we'll time waste towards the end if need be. This could be the moment that changes the season. If you remember back to FM22 when we started at Kefan Druids, we were 1 game from the sack and then we just had a moment. And at least if we can get a result here, it gives us something to build on. Even if it is a draw, but there's still 15 left. We can concede 4 in that time. You know us too well. Thomason loses the head up, but it goes wide. And we're still going. 12 minutes left. Borge kicks it out to Phillips on the left-hand side. Space to carry it forward. Finds Edwards. Why are you punting it? Please! It's headed away as far as Davis. This one's worked out a bit. And it's back to Blackwell. Into Owen. Oh, he's gone long again. This is scandalous. They're ignoring every single thing I'm asking of them. There is no game management. There is no listening to the manager. Can someone instruct me how I get this? Because they're going to score from it. It's hit the post again. We get away with murder. But what on earth is going on back there? I've got shorter passing and play out from defence. And all they want to do is hoof it. All they want to do is hoof the ball away. I'm going to try, just in case, it shouldn't affect it, because they should still counter on the floor. But I'm going to take that off as well and just see if it makes a difference. There's no need for us to push men forward now. So at 2-1, let's try and actually keep the ball. 5 minutes left, and rather worryingly, we're being told to bring Wakoma on, and I'm going to do it. Edwards will come off because he's knackered and he's about 40 years old. I don't know what to do with the last sub though. In fact, I do. Craig Currant, the number 10, is going to come off. He's just coming back from injury. Munro for him. And then in midfield, we'll put Granau in the middle. And we'll have 2 box-to-box midfielders either side. It's not exciting. It's not what we'd like to do. But it just gives us that bit more protection. Let's see if it pays off. Please, let us hold on for this famous night. It's a corner kick for TNS. You know the inevitable's come in. Christian Norton unmarked. And it was Wakona's man. This is the problem when you take Edwards off. We've got a centre-half who can't run. Or a centre-half who can't head. If we had one with both, my word, we'd be some team. But 2-2 into the 90th minute as Phillips delivers a cross. Keston Davis heads away. We're going to lose this. Norton runs away down the right. No one keeps up with him. 3 players are running forward for some reason. Norton gets to the byline, across the box. Cleared by Wakona only as far as Kitchen. Just wide of the far post. I know it's bad, but I'm going to have to time waste for the point because there's only one thing that's happening here and there's only one team who's scoring and it certainly ain't us. So let's be disciplined. Let's time waste all the time. Slow it down when we win possession. The rest of it, we'll try and keep going for now. But at the moment, a point at the start of this game would have been phenomenal. Whether we hold on, I think we do. We've got to make this a turning point. A fabulous result in the circumstances. Yes, disappointing to concede late on. Yes, TNS were the better side. But it's a point against the best team in the league. And with Cardiff Met Uni next week, we've got something little to build on. And with that result, we come off the bottom of the table again. We've got a better goal difference by 1, but we're very much the whipping boys of the league. And that's a crucial fixture because we come up against them next week. I hope we can get a result. But we are going to be back just a few weeks after. We'll get through the cup game, which is not a priority. If we've got other fixtures in the way, we'll rest people. But at the end of January, it's transfer deadline day. A month today. Hopefully there's the fireworks we need. Who knows, maybe we'll get a job in the meantime. I doubt it based on our current form. But after the league split, we'll be playing all the bottom half teams. And we've got to play them twice. And we've got to get results. So fingers crossed you'll come and join me for that. We will be back on the 31st of January. Transfer deadline day is going to be crucial. And I just hope there's 2 or 3 more. Because we know where the problems are. Our fullbacks are 1.5 2-star ability. Edwards and Wakona is choosing between 2 people who should be nowhere near this first team squad. And we could do with a holding midfielder. We could do with a striker. But frankly, if we can sort the defence out, those 2 can probably wait. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we get another hectic deadline day and maybe even some very good players this time, please do add a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of those performances. Am I right to try and go with a blaze of glory? It certainly seemed more competitive against TNS. If you want to stay up to date and find out if it stays that way, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with our Builder Nation tomorrow morning. The playlist so far in the eye above, as is the Twitch channel where we'll have regular live streams. But above my head now is yesterday evening's video. I hope you enjoy it if you haven't seen it already. And we'll be back here at the same time tomorrow. Transfer deadline day chaos, I hope, with some good signings at Airbus. I'll see you there.